for everyone to enjoy. And otherwise, have a great night. I'll be doing the longer speech inside, so I won't keep you any longer. But once again, thank you for coming. Cheers.
For you too, so it's fantastic. We were the messages and also the other volunteers who helped out tonight. And of course a huge thanks to my cast and crew who made this little film. So there was probably 2 or 3 people that I knew prior to making this film, because most of my time used to be sitting in a darkened room with a digital doing post-production. So I actually didn't know anyone here in Wellington in terms of crew and cast and makeup and so on and so forth. So I basically went around and made some contacts, sat down at tables and said, "Hi, my name's David Gould, I want to make a film." And they looked at you, "Okay, what do you want to do?" And it was a big ask. You know, I'd never done a feature before. I'd done some shorts. Of course, I'd done work in visual effects. So to have all those people who came on board and believed in me in such a nascent project, and also, you know, it's low budget. It's not an easy thing. We had some great people who chose to step aside from The Hobbit to come and work on my film, and I'm really appreciative of them, because in the end it was their passion to make the film as opposed to the financial gains, obviously, on a project like mine that really drove them, so I really appreciate that. And there's one person in particular I'd really like to thank, and that's Liz Mullane. Because Liz came on really early on, interestingly enough, and she probably won't mind me saying this, but I actually offered her a role in the film. I saw her at the Hobbit rallies, and I saw the strength and power when she got up and spoke, and I offered her a role, which said, "Thank you very much, Liz," she appreciated it, but said, what I do very well is casting. I said, "I think I know that, you're pretty good at that." So she offered to come on board, and from then it just made the whole process so much easier, and we just got an amazing calibre of actors like Antonio and others, and it just helped having someone to go in and fight and be a champion for me when speaking to agents and really championing the whole project. So thanks so much, Liz. So I'm just going to quickly read off a bunch of companies, all very much very involved and very supportive. These companies were either giving stuff for free, gave us locations for free, we're just super generous. So Camera Works, Portsmouth Rentals, Rubber Monkey, Museum Art Hotel, Luke and Erica Wood, Christina O'Leary, Callahan Innovation, Darich, ESR Wallaceville, Victoria University, Barter Shoes, Toshiba, Hollywood Branded, Hake, Ashbury Hair Salon, Icebreaker, High Equip, Olympus, Sacred Hill, Ministry of Education, Ag Research, Wallaceville, Wellington Hospital, Hutt Hospital, Silver Spring Retreat and Blackberry. So thank you very much for that. And the last, but of course the most important thanks I want to give is to my wife. My wife. I probably thought I wasn't going to mention it tonight. So 8 years ago, I think I worked about 8 years ago, I left to go and try to become a writer-director, having done many years of visual effects, and said to my wife that's what I wanted to do, and she supported that. I mean, it was a real lateral step back starting at the beginning. I was in all circles, nobody, what have you written, what have you directed, nothing, so I was really starting again from scratch, but she supported me every step of that way, and we had a lot of ups and downs and moments where we go, what the hell are we doing? This is just absolutely crazy. We could have a real job and a real life, but we decided to take this path, and it's asking a lot of someone to come on that journey with you, and she was there every step of the way. And I think what was really, just to sort of put Grant to head, was really like we were shooting The Cure, just had a baby boy, he was 3 months old, when we were shooting that film, so it was just like, you know, two amazing projects, so to speak, going on at the same time, and without her support I couldn't have gone through, so thank you very much. That's good. And around the middle of the year I had the script in pretty good shape, and then I went and knocked on all the usual doors, both here in New Zealand but also overseas, to look for financing for the project. Everyone was like, well, you know, it's an action thriller, you don't think you can do it on that budget. Well, the Kiwis with American accents, no, the Americans are never going to go for that. You know, everyone had suspicions, and they were valid suspicions or concerns because no one had really done this kind of film. And would it be successful overseas? Would it find distributors? All these same questions that any filmmaker had at that very point in time. So it's kind of like, no one's going to support it, but what do we do? So I went to my wife and said, well, no, I really want to do this, and she said no, she really believed in it, so we mortgaged our home, and with the little money we had, we then started to put together a cast and crew to make the film. And after that, we shot for 5 weeks all around Wellington. You'll see quite a few locations here tonight, and we basically finished the film in that regard. So I then quickly put together a rough cut, and with the hope of going and finding a little bit more money to help to do post-production, so I did the usual rounds, and everyone's appreciative, pat on the back, well done, but still no more further money coming forward. So at that point I was like, okay, now what do I do? So myself and 2 other friends, we finished the whole film on our own. So we're 3 people to do the entire post-production on a feature film, which is pretty amazing in this day and age. But that's the commitment and that's the promise I made to everybody. I said, you know, I'm going to finish this film and God damn it, I'll get it done. So I did, and that's what, you know, I promised to my crew and to everyone, and fortunately we can see the film tonight. So in total it took about 2.5 years from conception, coming up with the idea, to actually delivering the film. So despite all the initial concerns and worries about the film, the great news is that we've had some fantastic success. We have a sales agent in America, in Los Angeles, called Cinetel, and we've actually sold the film to 8 countries. I'll just list them because it's quite interesting branch of different countries. So Germany, Russia, Spain, the Czech Republic, Bulgaria, Japan, Philippines and China, so both Asia as well as Europe. As of tomorrow, the film will be available on video on demand and DVD, and later in the year on Rialto channel. So we're basically giving any opportunity for New Zealand to see the film in whatever form they want to see it, iPad, iPhone and so on, because we want to do more futuristic kind of distribution where we make it convenient for everybody to see the film when and where they want. I think that's the future, so that's really cool.
Definitely.
The other great news is that at the beginning of April, the film has been selected into the Gold Coast Film Festival, so that will be our Australian premiere. So while obviously we're going to see The Cure tonight, I want to take this opportunity to basically put a bigger spotlight on Wellington and Wellington filmmaking and other filmmakers and what we're trying to do on the independent level. And to that extent and to that goal, I'd like to actually invite the Mayor to come down now and say a few words to everybody.
What a great way to end the National Day in Wellington.
I'd like to acknowledge Your Excellencies, and of course Director David Gould. Writing, directing, funding is anything he can't do. No. And I think that self-belief, if you look at the trailer, it's very well placed. Well done. I'd like to acknowledge Antonia Preble, lead actress, and from talking to her, a wonderful ambassador for Wellington. It's great to meet you and talk to you about that. Made this film possible. I mean, Dave went through some of them, but it's a huge number of people, Film New Zealand, Film Wellington, all sorts of different talents and organisations. And I'd like to acknowledge all the Wellingtonians who've also just come along to see a great film. It takes time, it takes money, whoever's money it might be, and inspiration to make a great film. And I actually enjoyed watching the trailer. I thought best to see the trailer, to see what I'm letting myself in for. And I think it's going to be a hugely successful film. As you say, that subject of cancer touches every family, touches many people here. And the whole issue of such a wide-ranging disease, some of the work that's being done at the Mulligan Institute in Wellington, some of the hopes that are out there, but the fears of cancer, and again, the different possibilities of how we can actually help people survive and potentially even become immune to such a disease. But then there's a theme of corporate profit, the theme of the wicked corporate not doing the ethical right thing, and that sort of rightly enrages you even from the moment of seeing the trailer. So that's a pretty good yarn as well. Mm-hmm. And then, if that wasn't enough, you've got the action sequences, and that's going to get the adrenaline going. So there really is something for every kind of film goer in this film. I'd like to note that we've talked about the different countries that the film has been sold to. And some of those are just purely on the strength of the trailer. So that's pretty extraordinary, well done. The film's production values, the acting, the directing are world class, and so they should be. Wellington has got an extraordinary amount of talent, and it's a very generous talent. People actually share how to do things, where to do things, offer advice and guidance and support in a way that a bigger city just couldn't do. So thank you, all of the people that form that film ecosystem. And Wellington is a great place to make films. I mean, tonight it's San Diego. Quite often it's Middle Earth. And sometimes it's its own beautiful self. One of my favourite independent films is Hook, Line and Sinker. I think that's probably because I live in Island Bay. But it's just wonderful to have a city that's so versatile in its landscapes, its building, its people, its casting. And long may that last. So I just want to acknowledge also from the council, Ray Mercer here, our arts leader, and also previous mayor, Kerry Prendergast, who's been a really strong supporter of film and continues in many ways, including the board of the International Festival of the Arts. And I'd like to thank all of the people that keep those nitty-gritty things going. Film Wellington, Film New Zealand, whether it's I was going to say something very rude there, but whether it's succeeding in getting the government to offer a little bit more support to film and TV, or whether it's just the mundane job of road closures when you want to do filming, thank you for all of the people without whom we wouldn't have nearly as many films made. Films, adverts, TV series, it's all terrific. Because for Wellington, film is big business. Our film industry generated around about 828 million in the year to April 2012. The industry creates thousands of high-value jobs. It attracts talent from all around the world. People who either they go back home and they're ambassadors for Wellington, or they move here and live here and invest here. And it also puts the coolest little capital in the world on the map. So thank you, David, thank you, Antonia, and thank you, everybody else.
So just one last little word. I've got a little surprise after the film, what I'm going to do next. So I'd love you all to watch the credits and stick around as we get a little teaser for what's coming up. So without further ado, go ahead and roll the film.
Oh no, I saw the scissor.
Well done, David.
What's next? So what I'd like to do is show you my next project, or what is called a concept trailer for my next project. So clearly I haven't gone and made the film yet. So what you do is take other films, you have an idea, concept, you chuck other films together. It's called a mash-o-matic, a rip-o-matic, mood reel. It's used all the time in Hollywood to try to pitch an idea to a studio exec, saying, okay, this is my next idea, without having them sit down and read 110-page scripts. So we'll roll this and then I'll talk a little bit about it afterwards. A small, unambitious film. It's, two people in a room, drama type thing. So basically with this project I had the opportunity to go to the American film market in November, where I had 36 meetings in 7 days. It was just crazy. I had just such huge interest. I sent this trailer out to a lot of people. During that time I got to meet with Disney, Fox, J.J. Abrams' company, Bad Robot, Ridley Scott's company, Scott Free Productions, and a whole host of other really great production companies. And I'd like to also acknowledge tonight the New Zealand Film Commission, who actually helped pay part of my flights and accommodation over there, so thank you very much for supporting me. So since coming back, sent the script out and waiting on replies from various people, but really got some strong interest to potentially do this as a German-New Zealand co-production. Also been speaking with some great service companies here in Wellington, who are very keen to get involved. Obviously I want to make the film here as best I can, even though the film was actually set in Rome, Italy. We'll do that one in Wellington too, using a variety of effects and so on. So it's a very ambitious project. We're at the stages of financing, so if your plus one is a rich uncle, send them my way. But yeah, it's a very, again, a very ambitious project, but again, I really think something like The Cure we can do here, and I think it's with all of your support that we'll be able to make it happen. So thank you. So just a quick reminder, if your friends and family could make it tonight, we were actually selling the DVDs here, so if you go down and buy a copy, get 25% off. I know you're all chomping a bit to go and have a drink, so pleased to announce that we're going to do the after party at Public. Now that's down, you head straight down Courtenay, it's on the corner of Courtenay and Tory Streets. We've got quite a lot of wine bottles that we'd like to raffle, or not raffle, we're going to give spot prizes out, so come along and you'll be in the chance to win one of those. Otherwise, thank you very much for coming and enjoy the Sevens this weekend. Thank you everyone.